Thank you very much, comrades. Good afternoon. First of all, before I begin to address the concerns that were raised, not many, but some important one, I want to inform my good friend who I met yesterday at my office that agriculture is on an upsurge in this country. We have moved agriculture where Guyana now is leading not only in the country but in the region. When the entire region is looking to Guyana for that leadership, looking to Guyana for that guidance, and with the leadership that the president is exhibiting in the region, places like Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, the Eastern Caribbean country, whose economies were built on tourism and other things, are now embracing agriculture. So I want to tell you that agriculture is in an upsurge. And we will move there to ensure that Guyana become again the breadbasket of the Caribbean. So comrades, the issues that you all raise are not too many issues we can deal with. But first of all, I want to tell you, as the regional chairman would have said, that recently we have had a budget. And I think it's important that you know what is in store for you in that budget, what are some of the programs we will be doing, and how you can benefit as farmers and residents of Sandvoort, West Kanji, how you can benefit from the budget. Well, you know for a fact that this budget this year, this mic giving a little issue, man. Yeah. Let me talk with me without the mic. Right? Yeah, you're giving a feedback. The mic making it more difficult. Y'all hearing me at the back? Yeah. Good. So we have seen, tell Rose in the meeting. She calling, yeah. We have seen a budget recently, and this budget this time is the largest budget in the history of our country. Largest ever. And we have moved from the $1 billion mark now to the trillion, 1.146 trillion. And it's a large budget, and you will ask, it's a large budget, what is in that budget for me? Well, I can tell you, like any other budget, this budget has a lot of goodies for people in this country, and programs that will be implemented to help and the people in our country. For example, in the health sector, this year we'll be expending $129.8 billion. $129.8 billion. What that means for you. I know for a fact that healthcare in this region has been at a point where many of you have been very critical. But we want to ensure that we provide the best health service for the people in this country and this region. As I'm speaking here, we have the construction of a new hospital at number 75 on the quarantine. That will replace the Skeldon Public Hospital. We will upgrade all the other hospitals, Blackbush Polder and New Amsterdam. But more importantly, we will have a new hospital in New Amsterdam. The president was here just over a month ago to turn the sod for that state-of-the-art hospital where the services that you are going down to Georgetown and other places for will be provided to you free of cost right here in Amsterdam. And this hospital will do a number of surgeries, things like cardiology, kidney surgeries, and you name it, all the surgeries, CT scan, MRI, ultrasound, all those things will be available here. And also we'll have not only doctors physically present at that hospital to do work, but they will have the link across the country and also to different health institutions, reputable health institutions around the world. We have been partnering with Mount Sinai to set up the health system. This year alone, we'll see the starting, and they have already been started, the construction of 12 hospitals across this country. 12 state-of-the-art hospitals across this country. So when we say $129.8 billion in the health sector, that is in the budget. There, the money, because healthcare is very important for us. A healthy nation will be a productive nation. And if we can ensure that we have quality health service, then the people will receive that service and receive it free of cost. That is a good government that ensure that we execute our responsibility seriously to the population of this country. In the education sector, where we will have the largest expenditure, $138.2 billion. You know for a fact. You will want to tell me that you're talking about $138.2 billion for education and teacher strike. Well, that is another story. We can talk from now till next year about the teacher strike. But it's on record in this country. I want to tell you, I'm not bringing politics, but it's on record in this country that the head of the GTU, Ms. Coretta McDonald, is on record of saying that the government that treated the teacher the best in this country is the PDP civic government. She said that in 2017. And we have been doing that. And there was no breakdown of talks. The talks were going on. But because of certain things, I don't want to say what is it now here, we had this issue, this impasse. Let us hope that good sense prevail and the teacher will return to their classroom so that our students can benefit. But today, Guyana is leading the region in terms of education. We are having now the top students coming out of Guyana, not for 1 year, for the last 3-4 years. We have seen students from Guyana topping the region, topping CSEC, topping Cape. The common entrance examination, when you look and you measure the same level of examination across the Caribbean, you'll see Guyana students coming out on top. And not from the urban areas, not from places like Georgetown, Queen's College, St. Stanislaus, Bishop. Before time when we were growing up, those schools used to bring out the top students. When you live in Berbice, you live in a rural area and they quarantine and you hear somebody pass to go Queen's College, that person like a big celebratory. The entire village come together to today people, school like Anna Regina Multilateral School, school like the JC Chandy Singh Sak and the Skyline Line Path, right here, New Amsterdam Multilateral, are top in the country and top in the region. You know why? Because resources have been distributed fairly across this country. Fairly across this country. And we as a government, we value education because like a healthy population, an educated population will make better contribution to the development of our country. We are seeing now not only one sector that is developing, the oil and gas sector that we have had 4 years ago, we heard everything, all the revenue will be coming out from the oil and gas sector. So we shouldn't concentrate on too many sectors. Like my good friend there, Curtin, ask Curtin, he just come meet me very regularly. And we'll tell you when we have this course, how the plans that we have for the agriculture sector. Not only the hemp. Hemp is one area in the agriculture sector that will start shortly. And I want to inform you all, as I'm speaking now, we are looking to set up the regulatory authority shortly. And that will start. But hemp will make hundreds, or not, if not thousands of products. Hemp, we can use hemp to do industrial hemp. And your region, Region 6, with Region 10, have been identified to start the cultivation of hemp. And very soon we will start it. We are working to do that. But coming back to the sectors. Education in 2020, we told the people in this country that you will elect us in government and we will make 20,000 scholarships available to the people in this country. We said that. When we said that at that time, many persons were laughing. Many persons were laughing and saying, how you can make 20,000 scholarships? Well, we haven't done only 20,000 scholarships in 5 years. In 3 years, we did 21,000 already. 21,000 scholarships were given to the people of this country. And in another 2 years from now, more than a couple thousand more will be delivered to the people of this country. Free. Your child or children can be in your home and study in a university overseas online. We are now looking, we said that we will make university education free. We have started that process this year. As I'm speaking here, we are looking at the students who had taken loan to see how we'll, first of all, deal with that. But you rest assured, before 2025, university education in Guyana, the Guyana University of Guyana, will have free education. Government will provide it for the people of this country. And I can go on in all the sector, housing sector. We have seen a revolution in the housing sector. $78 billion this year will be expended in the housing sector. In the water sector, $22.5 billion. And that is why we are trying now to give water where there was no water. Make potable water available to people. And where there was potable water, now we are trying to improve it to make it, give them treated water so that we can improve all the time. And a responsible government will always ensure that we improve the life of our people. And we have seen it because last year, we have seen the country's economy grew by 37%. And good for us. We are now the fastest growing economy in the world. But we are not relying only on one sector. The 37% that we have grew last year didn't came out from one sector, the oil and gas sector. And that we must complement ourselves. 11.7% came out from the non-oil sector. Growth came out from the non-oil sector. And when we are seeing countries around the world, their economy are shrinking, their economy are contracting, and who doesn't have oil and gas? We must pat ourselves on the back because the non-oil sector grew by 11.7% and the agriculture sector grew by 7% last year. 7% last year the agriculture sector grew. And right here in Kanji, we said also, and you know for a fact, the comrade who just spoke, that behind the sea dam we need to do some work there to clear the bushes and get drainage done. Who working at Blaymont? Because of the closure of the sugar estate in Kanji, he was forced to go over Blaymont to work. We have brought back sugar to Kanji and we have reopened the Rosal estate. I was coming just now and looking, I was telling the vice chairman, look, smoke coming out of the chimney. The factory start back again. Why we are doing this? You know for a fact when the estate was closed, the entire Kanji, we saw a ghost town. All the economic activities in East Kanji die a sudden death. Many families were broken up. People had to take out their children from school. People had to give up utility services, things like telephone. They were unable to pay for it. And you go back now and see what's happening. You go back, over 1,000 workers have been reemployed at Rosal. We have seen back the village economy starting. We have seen back people start once again to money circulating in the community, not only for the workers who are earning, but the people who depend indirectly. The shopkeeper, the market vendors, the seamstress, the taxi driver, all of them now are getting money because the sugar workers are earning, they are spending the money are circulating, and everybody are benefiting. Everybody are benefiting coming out there. So I want to tell you here this morning, that this afternoon, that this government will continue to improve your life. That is in our plan. And we have been doing work all across this country. When I heard that the machine has to come here, I tell the comrades and send it. I know Sandvoort has been a productive area over the years, and we will make Sandvoort once again a productive area so that you can produce. We will not have land idle. You know for a fact, if you have been following the president, he went to Mara, a number of occasions, and almost all the canals in East Banks now, we are desilting and bringing back cultivation area to life. The same thing we'll do in Sandvoort. We have started it. Hundreds of acres of land were cleared by the bulldozer. Hundreds of rods of canal were cleared by the excavator. And many other canals and land we will clear. We will clear to ensure that you have access to the land. It's important if we want to be a food producing country. If we want to be a food producer, then we have to ensure that we make the necessary infrastructure available to the farmers so that they can have access to the land. And that's just what we'll do, because this year, 2024, we'll see $97 billion allocated to the agriculture sector. $97 billion. And I just want to do a comparison. In 2020, when I became Minister of Agriculture, I went in and reached a budget of $13.5 billion. And in 2015, the last year of the PPP civic government, the agriculture budget was $18.5 billion. So instead of increasing it, it decreased. So you could see the emphasis on agriculture in this country. Guyana always, you check from the history coming up, Guyana always contribute the most to CARICOM in terms of agricultural development. Since the formation of CARICOM, Forbes Burnham, who was one of the founders of CARICOM, took that responsibility to talk on agriculture and lead agriculture. All the presidents, Forbes Burnham, Desmond Hyde, Chedi Jagan, Janet Jagan, Sam Hines, you name it, Donald Ramutar, but in 2015 to 2020, we lost that place. It was taken up by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Mr. Ralph Gonzalez was leading that. When I became Minister of Agriculture in 2020, CARICOM wanted to craft a food strategy. And I thought that as Minister of Agriculture, I will lead that, because Guyana normally lead under those things. But to my surprise, the minister from St. Vincent called me and said that he's chairing that committee to formulate, to craft that food strategy. I was so surprised. Guyana has lost because we de-emphasized in that period from 2015 to 2020, we de-emphasized agriculture. We said we will get everything from oil and gas. The next CARICOM summit in Belize, I went with the president. He rescued that position. And I want to tell you now here today, I'm so proud. I'm doing it because I am the Minister of Agriculture. For the first time in the history of CARICOM, we have seen, because of the leadership being displayed by our president, we have seen the political will now for CARICOM to deal with the agriculture sector and reduce the food import bill in the Caribbean. For the first time, we are seeing that political will there. We used to hear about it. You remember under President Jagdeo, he crafted an initiative, they called it Jagdeo's Initiative. The CARICOM termed it the binding constraints in agriculture. Although he did all that, they accepted it, they adopted it, but you didn't see any physical aspect that they start to move, to adopt it, to move it and make it into practice. But today, as I'm speaking here, for the first time, we are seeing CARICOM accepted that we have to reduce the food import bill. We have to reduce them. Last week, Monday, no, Monday gone, not last week, Monday last, when the heads of government met in Georgetown, we have seen already that the food import bill of the Caribbean start to decline. Since 2021, and we have up to the end of 2025 to reduce the food import bill of CARICOM by 25%. From 2021 to 2022, imports declined by 11% in Guyana. I haven't had last year's figures yet, but I am certainly sure that last year's figures, 2022 to 2023, will decrease further. When you look at it, and you can go, I'm not saying you go to the International Trade Center statistic. You go and Google it at the International Trade Center statistic and you'll see decline in imports. You'll see Guyana declined by 17%. Bahamas declined by 2%. St. Vincent and the Grenadines declined by 17%. And it goes like that. So when you put all together, when you look at these percentage across the Caribbean, and you add every country percent, together at the end of 2025, we have to reduce it jointly by 25%. $6 billion annually. $6 billion annually the Caribbean is using to import food. The Caribbean said, we have to reduce that by 25%. The heads of government met in Belize in 2021 and said we have to reduce that food import bill by 25%. A strategy was crafted. A presentation was done by our president there. And they set up a ministerial task force with all the agriculture ministers around the Caribbean to ensure that we have system in place, and we have been moving very rapidly to look at progress what we are making. We have prioritized a number of commodities, a number of produce that are high in imports, that cause us a lot of money. And now with those commodities that we have targeted, we are now working to reduce. For example, Guyana, we are spending close to about $40 million annually to import livestock feed for the livestock industry in Guyana. And what is the most important ingredients? Corn and soya. We said we will have to produce and be self-sufficient to produce all our corn and soya needs in 2025. We are on the verge of doing that. We have built the infrastructure in the Tacoma Savannah, hundreds of miles of roads. We put up there a 9,000 drying facility. We are now building a wharf. We'll increase that facility this year, make it to about 12,000 tons. The silos that we build there. The consortium that we are working on will increase production this year. And we are hoping next year that we can start to plant 25,000 acres annually, 2 times per year. 25,000 acres 2 times per year. And we will produce all our needs in corn and soya. And we'll also be a net exporter. That's the way we will save $40 million right here locally. And also we'll earn from that. That's a new crop. In 2021, we imported in this country $2.6 billion in high-value crops. Corn, soy, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, lettuce, bell pepper for the hospitality industry. The oil and gas industry started. You have more expats coming to live in Guyana. They want better produce. We have to produce that. We have to reduce the $2.6 billion that we used to import that amount of food in to the country. The president started a program. The comrade mentioned about young people in agriculture. Right. How we can capture the young people coming into agriculture. Yeah. How we can make agriculture more attractive to the young people. How we can make it less labor intensive. How we can make it more modern. So we started out, we said that, look, we have to move agriculture to a different level. We can't expect to do the same old thing what we foreparents used to do and grandparents used to do 20 years ago. We have to change the way we do things. So we started a program where we have farmer company, where young people are shareholders. The President Farmer Company, where young people are shareholders of this company. The Agriculture Innovative Entrepreneurship Program. We have hundreds of young people who are shareholders. We have started production of these high-value crops. Now we are supplying more than 50% of the hospitality industry, those young people. And at the end of the year, the profit from the company is being divided to these young people as dividend, so that we give them something, we make it more attractive. But at the same time, we do it more modern way. We do it under shade houses. We do it under drip irrigation and all these things. So all the modern way we're doing it, rather than you have to go and do it labor intensive, you water your plant, do this thing, sunlight, burn out the plant, and all these things. So we do it in a more modern way. And what we are doing now, we are looking to build these facilities across this country. Since 2020, we have built more than 450 shade houses across the country. You can ask the head of NARI, he'll tell you. More than 450 shade houses across the country. This year alone, we'll build another 200 shade houses in different parts of the country. But we have moved to a different level. We have partnered with a company, a private company, where we have now the largest hydroponics farm in the Caribbean at Manripo. 20,000 square feet, 100,000 plantlets. In 6 to 8 weeks, you can get whatever crop you want in all green leafy vegetables coming out at that hydroponics farm that we have there. All the new lettuce, new type of lettuce, you name it. And now it's been packaged, and those things are being supplied in the stores, the supermarkets, and also being exported to the Caribbean. The largest single hydroponic farm in Guyana. The Caribbean leader came and they went and visited. They were so impressed, they want us to replicate that across the country, across the Caribbean. They want now to go into investment in those areas. But whilst we have done that, and we want to make opportunities available for people across the country, this year we have started the construction of 3 additional ventures like that. One in Region 2, Region 5, and Region 10. So in these 3 regions, we will have an additional of 20,000 square feet each of this hydroponic farm, where Guyana now will have the largest hydroponic farm in the Caribbean, right here in Guyana.